I know these are 2 of your 3 officials. They'll announce them.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere.
A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
You see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walking clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in better.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Keep it 100.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to sectional basketball here on Summit City Sports. We are coming to you live from Columbia City. I'm Thad Goff along with Ryan Dellinger. We got Tyler Sorg on camera tonight, and we got the Homestead Spartans against the Southside Archers. Kind of a familiar matchup, at least as far as the two schools going up against each other is. They went up against each other in the sectional championship for soccer earlier this year, boys soccer that is. Homestead won that in overtime, and Could very well be a fun matchup. Both these teams have athletes who can score the basketball, and to start out, we'll mention the Homestead Spartans and the athletes who they have who can score the basketball. And there's probably two names for them that probably stand out above the rest, Fletcher Lawyer and Luke Goody. They've already committed to college. Lawyer, if I'm not mistaken, has committed to Purdue. Goody has committed to Illinois, a building program, I might add, under Brad Underwood. But those are two guys that are scoring over 20% and can shoot it from over 40% from beyond the arc. There's really a lot that these athletes can do.
Yeah, if you look at Fletcher Lawyer, and if you're Southside, you better pick them up when they get on the other side of half court. Because the other night against Huntington North, they made the Vikings pay, especially Fletcher Lawyer. He was shooting the ball from about 25 feet away. He started out cold, but then got extremely hot right at the end of the first quarter, and that really propelled them into a big win over Huntington North. And then Luke Goody, he's just all over the court. He did a lot of his damage the other night inside, getting some rebounds and then getting some and-one opportunities, and he shoots about 80% from the line. So they've got great shooters all around. And, in fact, the young man that got him going early in that game was Grant Simmons. He hit 2 threes early, and that just opened up everything for the rest of the guys on the team. So there's no problem with them scoring. Andrew Leeper probably could put up 25 if it weren't for the other two young men on the team. And, this is just an outstanding Homestead team, and this team is destined potentially to get to the state championship.
Well, they'd be no stranger to the state championship. I believe it was 2015 when they last won their state championship. Chris Johnson led them to that state championship. He remains the head coach. He's won over 400 games in his coaching career. That goes back to when he was at Dwenger, over 370 as the head coach at Homestead. So we got to that milestone, if you will, on Tuesday night. Now he's going to go for 371. But no doubt this is a successful program, and it's been a successful program for quite some time. In fact, I might even add that the boys and girls teams at Homestead have been quite successful for a long time, and Rod Parker, the girls basketball coach, was once an assistant under Chris Johnson. So the systems, if I'm not mistaken, are quite similar. I'd imagine the philosophies, the team philosophies are quite similar, and it's been no problem for Chris Johnson as the head coach here at Homestead.
Yeah, their philosophy is just win, baby. They figure out
like
how
Al
to
Davis.
do it. Yeah, they figure out how to do it in big-time ways. They've had very good players on both the boys and girls teams over the last, 10 years. So plethora of wealth out there at Homestead High School, and this group of athletes here, once again at Homestead High School, are very good. Some of these guys are multi-sport athletes as well. So Chris Johnson's done a great job with them, and we'll see if Southside can figure out how to score first and then hold the ball for the rest of the game. That would be a good plan if you're Southside.
Well, for Southside, the record certainly doesn't stand out to you. They're 8-13 on the season. Their most recent loss was against New Haven, a team that will be playing later tonight against Wayne here at this sectional. But Southside does have plenty of players who can score the basketball. Austin Jordan, Ashton Johnson, and Jalen Lattimore are all guys who have averaged double figures in points per game this year. And Jordan, he's a senior. Lattimore's a junior, and they both have contributed in key ways for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not sure if Lattimore's – he's not in the starting lineup tonight, so I'm not sure if there's an issue or not. But the guy that has to really keep Southside in the game, if they're going to be in the game, is going to have to be Ashton Johnson. He's going to have to score in the paint outside, and he's also probably going to either guard Lawyer or the big fella Goody. So he's going to have his hands full, and if they can get scoring from Cadell Wallace, who's a streaky player at times, who knows what Southside can do. And, sometimes Southside just has Homestead's number in sports.
Yeah, they sometimes do. I think you remember a certain sport where
yes,
Southside beat Homestead.
So
2 in a row in baseball, of course.
For Coach J.J. Foster, he understands what's at stake tonight. You've got to score when you get the ball. You cannot have any missed opportunities. They only turn the ball over about 12 times a game. Austin Jordan's going to have a clean game. If Austin Jordan is scoring in the lane, they have a shot. If he's got to shoot jumpers, not going to happen, Thad. He's not a great jump shooter. In fact, they're not a real good three-point shooting team as a team. They're only shooting about 29% from behind the arc. So it'll be real difficult for Southside tonight. They're going to have to score. They're going to have to rebound. They're going to have to be flawless to take on a Homestead team that's beaten the best in the state in Cathedral and Lawrence North, who I've got to see play this year. I'll tell you what, Thad. If those two play again, that's going to be worth the price of admission.
Well, Lawrence North came to Fort Wayne. I think they came to Fort Wayne multiple times, but they beat Northrop in one of those games, and they actually ran Northrop out of their own gymnasium, which I might add is a very nice gymnasium. And Northrop is coached by, of course, Rod Chamble, who's been a very successful AAU coach in recent years. I'll actually see him on Sunday. But Lawrence North, no doubt they can play with just about anybody, but Homestead did beat them earlier this year.
They did, and they beat them in overtime. And, you look at that Lawrence North team. This is a team they could potentially play down the road, of course. They're very good inside. They came to Snyder High School, and quite frankly, they could have scored 125 points, but they pulled back a little bit in the fourth quarter. C.J. Gunn headed off to IU next year, an outstanding player. In fact, he can shoot from 25, 30 feet. And then their big fella in the middle as well. I think he's one of the top defensive ends in the state, I believe. And DJ. So down the road, these guys can play him again, but tonight they got to take care of South.
Yeah, you mentioned what's at stake tonight. What is at stake is a trip to the sectional championship game. That'll be tomorrow night. I believe the start time is 6:30, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, did they move it up?
In my communications with Kelly Light, I think the athletic director, I believe that was 6:30 when that game is scheduled to start. I'll have to double-check that.
Amen.
I'll probably see him on my way out tonight. But, that game will be tomorrow night. The winner of this game gets the winner of New Haven versus Wayne. Wayne's coming off a come-from-behind win against Columbia City. And New Haven, they're 14-7. They've been good in recent years under head coach Bruce Stevens. And as I recall, they beat Homestead in the sectional championship last year. That was a different venue, of course. That was Huntington North. And now here we are at Columbia City. We'll see what plays out as the Spartans and the Archers get set to take the court. But first, let's give a little shout-out to some of our sponsors. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260Sports, like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group, with over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Please visit DriveKelly.com. Simple, transparent, and reliable. Tom Steel Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years, and they will help you to find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services such as brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch. Join ProFed today and start owning your financial future at profedcu.org. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process, from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com for more. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area. From ages 5 to 18, our players are equipped with elite-level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together, we can reach the summit. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business, a system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. El Azteca Mexican Restaurant has been a Fort Wayne favorite since 1973. El Azteca Mexican recipes are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Visit elaztecarestaurant.com for more information. iCryo specializes in whole-body cryotherapy, body sculpting, cryofacials, infrared sauna, and compression therapy services. Check out Jalen Smith's signature location on Coliseum Boulevard by Blaze Pizza in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana. Our specialized sports medicine team offers direct access to physical therapy and sports physicians in our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. No referral is needed, saving you time and money. Visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more. And with that, we will go ahead and turn things over to our PA announcer. Looks like we're just about ready for the national anthem.
In the spirit of sportsmanship, we ask that all fans act responsibly and courteously to those around you. Abusive language or disorderly conduct is unacceptable and not welcome in IHSAA events. Let's support the student athletes, coaches, officials, and your fellow fans in respect they deserve. Your cooperation is appreciated. Please enjoy the game. We ask that all fans please adhere to the mask and social distancing policy. Masks must remain on throughout the contest. Restrooms are located at both east ends of the gymnasium. Finally, please take a moment to know location mentioned nearest you in the event of emergency. These exits can be found on the all corners of the gymnasium. Tonight's opening game features the Summitcity Archers and the Homestead Spartans. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Principal Adam Swinford, Athletic Director Tori Curry, and the Summitcity Archers. Non-starters for the Archers. Number 1, Jalen Lattimore. Number 2, Jaden Morris. Number 3, Lamontrell Manning. Number 10, Fidel Wallace. Number 11, O'Marion Washington. Number 14, Robert Gatson. And number 20, Robert Rembert. Starting tonight for the Archers, number 4, Derek Ruth. Number 12, Austin Jordan. Number 21, Jerry Thomas. Number 22, Keith King. And number 23, Ashton Johnson. Southside scorer, Mr. John Foster. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Principal, Park Dinder, Athletic Director Joe Uptergrove, and the Homestead Spartans. Starting tonight from the Spartans, number 2, Fletcher Royer. Number 14, Caleb Colby. Number 20, Luke Goody. Number 22, Andrew Lieber. Number 32, Grant Simmons. Homestead coach by Mr. Chris Johnson. Officials for this evening's opening game are Jeff Lytle, Tom Carey, and Jason Dice. At this time, would everyone please stand for our national anthem. Good luck to both teams.
And with that, we are ready for basketball here on SummitCitySports.com. The Archers of Southside taking on the Spartans of Homestead. Now, Homestead's lineup, they have the look of, they certainly don't have the look of a small ball lineup, if you will. They've got plenty of guys who can shoot from the outside. But you look at it, their lineup, you got the 6'5" Luke Goody, the 6'4" Fletcher Lawyer, the 6'5" Andrew Leeper, 6'4" Grant Simmons. Shortest guy is Caleb Colpine at 6'3", so they've got plenty of size at their disposal, even if it's not a big 6'10" guy like a Caleb First, who you would see at Blackhawk Christian.
Absolutely. Jerry Thomas going to jump up here against Andrew Leeper. Jerry Thomas just got up to the varsity 2 weeks ago.
And Leeper wins the tip. Homestead will start with the basketball. This is Fletcher Lawyer. the transfer from Clarkston High School in Michigan, and leading scorer. There's Goody, a little pull-up jumper. He nails it. That's a 3.
Luke Goody off a screen early, and look at Homestead going to pick up full court here early.
That's Lawyer who comes to guard against number 22. That was Keith King who had the basketball, and Jordan feeds it to the corner for Rook. Rook draws a double team, and he lost it. Goody came with the help side defense, and Homestead takes over. And Luke Goody is a senior this year. He'll be going to University of Illinois. He's been a starter at the varsity level, I believe, since his sophomore year when he was the leading scorer on the team back then. A catch and shoot from the corner. That's Simmons, and he knocks down the 3 ball.
Yeah, the drive and dish of Lawyer here early is working out for Homestead. You mentioned Fletcher Lawyer from Clarkston High. That school is a powerhouse in basketball, and they could have certainly used him this year up there. Went to school with my nieces and nephews, the Lawyers.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Yep, so my family knows their family pretty well.
I didn't know you had family in Michigan. I know we're not far away from there, but
yep.
That's Jordan around the screen.
Unfortunately, all of my guys play football.
That's Simmons who knocked it out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by Southside. Simmons came over looking for the steal. And Homestead plays a lot of man-to-man defense. They've been doing that for quite some time under head coach Chris Johnson. They've got Simmons posting down low. A little tough catch there. And here's Lawyer on the drive, feeds it outside. Simmons is open, and hits another one. It's raining threes for the Spartans.
All 9 points for the Spartans off the drive and dish by Lawyer. He's got 3 assists already to go with the 3 buckets.
Derek Rook from the corner, trying to get that one to Jordan, but it's taken away by Caleb Colpeen. A little dish to Goody, and he scores. And a timeout. Luke Goody with the bucket on the interior, and while they take a timeout, we will go ahead and show you what happened on our last replay, brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance. I know, Ryan, you're getting kind of a tough angle there, so I'll try as best I can to give you a look at this. But here it is, and you'll see a good defense. How about that play by Colpeen?
Yeah, Colpeen's got good hands.
And Luke Goody able to finish on the other end. The great dish from Fletcher Lawyer. 5 points for Goody, 6 points for his good buddy Grant Simmons. And that bucket by Goody was the first non-three-pointer for the Spartans so far tonight.
And they'll stay in that 2-2-1 full-court press. It's not really designed to have a lot of turnovers. It's more to slow a team down and then get the turnover like they've been doing in the corners.
Well, this is Jordan. He looks to get it to the top of the key. He's at the top of the key, I beg your pardon. Swings that one over to Ashton Johnson. Johnson will put up his first shot of the game, and that just grazes the iron. Goody off the catch and shoot. Hits another 3.
Wow, Goody already with 8 points off the three-pointer and that layup he just had. So Luke Goody off to a good start tonight. He got off a little slow the other night and caught up in the second half when Fletcher Lawyer just dominated in the first half. And see, there's a bad pass. They need a ball fake, Thad. That's been killing them. No ball fakes, and they're overplaying the lanes are Homestead.
Yeah, I think that was that Simmons who got in the way of that pass?
No, I think it was Fletcher Lawyer.
Yeah, you might be right. Here's Goody with the basketball, feeds it to Lawyer, and Lawyer puts it home. Beautiful cut by Fletcher Lawyer.
And that's a danger spot right there in the corner.
That's Johnson from downtown. His shot would not fall, and the rebound is eventually pulled down by Andrew Leeper. Lawyer is left open in transition, couldn't cash in on the 3. Tippin wouldn't go, and Johnson comes up with a board. Here's Jordan the other way. It's stolen away by Lawyer. The baseball pass up ahead to Leeper, and he puts it in. 18-0. And for Leeper, he's on the board for the first time in this game. Now Johnson looking to get by Goody. Good help side there by Leeper as Keith King fires a 3 ball. That's no good. Johnson's put back too strong. Derek Rook comes down with the rebound, and here's Jordan. Johnson's so good at the dribble drive, he'll try some of that, but he was surrounded by defenders, and a tough shot on the interior is good. Jerry Thomas. Homestead gets it quick down the floor. Goody going to fire from downtown. Drains a three. I don't think he's missed yet.
Not even close. Everything's been nothing but net.
Little pass fake there, and is that going to be a trot? No, it's a foul.
That's going to be a foul on Caleb Colpine. His team's first here, Thad.
First foul against either team, and a 21-2 lead for Homestead.
Yeah, I mentioned in the pregame here, Southside's got to pick up the shooters early at midcourt, and they didn't that time, and Luke Goody made them pay once again.
Jordan will back this one out. Yeah, Grant Simmons was there, looked like he was ready to get a little takeaway there, but he picks up Johnson one-on-one. Poked away by Lawyer. He could not save it.
And he takes out the possession arrow over there on the far side of the court. As it looks like Southside's going to bring in Cadell Wallace, the freshman.
Cadell Wallace has, I believe, started some games this year for Southside.
Most of them he started. Him and Lattimore not even in the front row in the substitution pattern tonight.
Yeah, Lattimore, a normal starter, not getting the starts tonight. He's a junior. He's a 6'3" forward. Also plays football at Southside for Roosevelt Northfleet squad. Leaning in is Jordan, ripped away by Fletcher. Fletcher Lawyer, that is, and he races down the court. That was knocked out of bounds by King. It'll stay with Homestead.
Southside, no baskets coming easy here in the first quarter. 3 minutes to go, and Homestead already has 21 points in the game.
Leeper was looking for the catch and shoot there off the inbound. They get it to Simmons on the baseline. Goody fires another three. Not this time.
He's human. He finally missed.
Well, he's 3 for 4, but even the best of them usually shoot at around 40%, and that's where Goody's shooting the three-pointer, and he's done such a great job in that area as well as so many other areas on the court.
And he's going to have taller players to go off of in college for screens, so he may be even more open in college sometimes than he is here in high school. Good look inside.
Tough shot wouldn't go. That was Jerry Thomas who took the shot, and Homestead comes back the other way with it. Lawyer feeds it off to Goody. Simmons off the catch and shoot. No good. Lawyer trying to keep it alive, comes out to Goody. He'll pull up for the jump shot. Got it. That almost reminded me of a Kobe Bryant jumper I saw way back in 2009.
It sure did. It was just like it, wasn't it?
Yep.
Well, he's got a good soft touch.
Now, the particular jumper I was thinking about featured Kobe having the ball knocked away from him, picking it up, and still making the mid-range jumper.
Yeah, subs coming in for both teams. It's like a Marion Washington in for Southside.
I reached out to Chris Johnson, asked him a little bit about how impressed he's been with Fletcher Lawyer since joining the team at Homestead, and he had very few words, but those few words were very complimentary to him. Outstanding player and competitor. Fletcher has a high IQ for the game.
Yeah, like I said, my family's got a relationship with them up in Michigan. My brother said, now he may not always be the best player on the court, but he will be the smartest, and he has shown that here in this sectional thus far.
This is Jordan with the basketball. He's got Simmons guarding him. He's a ways away from the basket. I think that's the reason Simmons gave him that kind of space. Well, Lawyer's got a few inches over Cadell Wallace. That might have been why he didn't fire the three ball there.
A double dribble.
If that's either the second or the third turnover for Southside in this game. And we got 1:36 left to go. And as you can probably hear, the Homestead student section has made it here.
Yeah, they were here the other night. They were going back and forth with the Huntington North crew that was here, and they definitely had a lot to cheer for in that game.
So far, they got plenty of cheer for tonight as Grant Simmons, he's hit a couple of threes, had some space there, but had to square his body quite a bit. But instead, it's Caden Kapwicki who knocks it down from three.
Homestead
and a turnover there. Kopwicki gets the loose ball, feeds it to Lawyer, fakes his man, and gets fouled.
That foul will be on Ashton Johnson, his team's first. Lawyer, a 93% foul shooter. He missed one the other night, and he looked at his hand like, what happened?
Well, he's at the line for 2 in this case, and he'll pad the Homestead lead on that first attempt. Ashton Johnson checks into the game. Ashton Johnson, also a multi-sport athlete, plays both football and basketball. I believe that's 4 points in the game for Fletcher Lawyer.
It is. 1 minute to go here in quarter number 1, Thad, as Southside has had no answer for this trapping defense here early.
A couple of traps put together by Homestead here. The pass over to Jordan. And Quinn Harmon was fronting Jerry Thomas down low. Jordan looking to go to work, gets to the lane, loses the ball, gets it back, but turns it over. That's Goody who takes it away. Feeds it to Lawyer on the baseline. Wide open once again was Kopwicki, but couldn't knock it down. Simmons will slow things down. Homestead can, of course, hold for the final shot here. We got 20 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Got to watch for those high screens again if you're a south side. Mismatch now for Lawyer.
Lawyer kept his footing, kept his dribble, and he got fouled. Was it before the shot? I think it was. He made the basket. Jerry Thomas called for the foul. And they're not going to count the basket. It was before the shot.
There's going to be a screen coming for Goody. Yep.
They get it to him. Goody feeds it inside to Harmon. Harmon has it blocked, and trying to tip it in there was Lawyer, but to no avail. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. We'll be right back for the second quarter after this break on SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Ready to start the second quarter here at Columbia City. Homestead with the lead, 28-2. Southside's going to start with the basketball. Homestead got things started by knocking down a whole bunch of threes. Luke Goody hit 3 of them. Grant Simmons hit 2. Now, Fletcher Lawyer hasn't yet hit a 3 in this game, but it may just be a matter of time.
Yeah, but he's got 4 assists.
He does indeed.
Yeah, he's got 4 assists. That was on Grant Simmons, his first, team second.
7:41 to go here in the second quarter.
Sorry, they changed that to Andrew Leeper.
That's the second foul on Homestead. Each team has 2. And the first free throw rims out for Ashton Johnson. Lamontrell Manning, a junior guard, will check into the game for J.J. Foster's Southside Archers.
Johnson, an 85% foul shooter this season. I'm not sure what the delay is here.
The free throw is good. Full court pressure here by the Archers. The Spartans beat it. They got Harmon wide open, but he couldn't put it in.
Good look there by Andrew Leeper. Kept his head up. Found Harmon cutting to the bucket. Now Harmon with a good defensive play.
And Goody takes it away. He's able to get it to Andrew Leeper across the timeline. Harmon, a cross-court pass for Kopwicki. And now Harmon will fire from downtown, and he hits it. And Quinn Harmon joins the three-point party.
7 3-pointers already for Homestead in this game.
Little half-court trap here by the Spartans. Wallace with a cross-court pass to Manning. That's Jordan from downtown. His three comes up short, and it comes out to Fletcher Lawyer, and he dribbled it, I think, off his own. Or did he? It's going to stay with Homestead. Ashton Johnson.
I think he dribbled it off of Cadell Wallace's heel.
He might have. I initially thought he dribbled it off his own foot, but apparently not. There's Lawyer with the feed over to Kopwicki. 2-3 zone here by the Archers. Goody for three. No good. Offensive board, though, by Harmon. Keeps it in play along the baseline. That's Lawyer who drives inside. Feeds it back outside to Kopwicki. His three no good, and that's going to be a foul on Leeper.
That is his second.
Been so few fouls as it is today. It seems hard to point out that anybody would be in foul trouble at this point, but you're right, Leeper with his second.
Yeah, they played Huntington North the other night, and the first half, I think there were maybe 3-4 fouls between the two teams, and it just was a good flow to that game, although it got out of control midway through the first quarter for Huntington North. It's just Homestead doesn't really foul all that much.
Winner of this game gets either Wayne or New Haven tomorrow night, right back here in Columbia City.
And another
that
turnover.
Pass goes out of bounds. Interestingly, Columbia City was the team that played Wayne in the first round. They, of course, are the hosts of this sectional. Columbia City is. Sectional was originally meant to be played at Wayne, but the change was made, I believe it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was. I knew before they even did the draw. I talked to some officials, and they said it had already been changed. I think it was when I was out at New Haven for a game. Their AD let me know.
Lawyer leaning in, and he scores. Fletcher Lawyer, and I believe that puts him up to 6 points in the game. Little half-court trap here by Homestead. This is Wallace. Gets past the two defenders.
Whoa, jeez.
And we're going to have a foul called against Homestead.
He ran right into Grady's swing. Grady's swing just not in the right place at the right time, and he got the foul. Jerry Thomas will come back on for South. The interesting about Jerry Thomas, they had to talk him into playing sports.
Did they?
I mean, you walk in the gym, he's got a football body playing basketball. You notice him right away, and they had to talk him into playing.
Well, pass fake there by Austin Jordan. Goody takes it away. Little no-look feed to Colpine, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to say Wallace touched it last. Caleb Colpine, a good baseball player, as was his brother, Cade Colpine.
Yeah, pitcher and catcher. They pitched against us in the sectional championship. One pitched, one caught. Caleb, a very good left-handed pitcher. In fact, his dad came up and talked to us a little bit before the game.
Colpine looking to put this one in play. Lawyer goes up to tip it to Goody. Went up like a wide receiver. And Colpine with the left hand. 35-3. It's almost like we're looking at a football score.
Yeah.
Well, these two teams played each other in football this year. Homestead clinched a second straight SAC title. They didn't go undefeated in the regular season like last year, but it was another great season. And there's Goody with the takeaway. Goody gets to the bucket and stuffs it down.
Goody now with 15, and Coach Foster is going to take another 30-second timeout.
Well, that'll be worth another look on our Traction AP replay as Luke Goody gets both the steal and the bucket here. Just waiting for the ball to come. What anticipation. And then Goody all the way to the rim.
He had a couple dunks the other night against Huntington North. One was on an alley-oop from Lawyer. That was pretty special.
He's good friends with a guy who's known for dunking the ball around these parts, that being Caleb First. They're AAU teammates, or they have been in recent years. Probably been AAU teammates for quite a while, I would imagine.
Yeah, Caleb First. Is anybody in that Bluffton sectional even going to get within 20 points of them?
I have no idea. Of course, I think, if I remember right, yes, if Blackhawk Christian were to win that sectional, which they still got to get through tonight, but if they were to win that sectional, it'd be the 4th in a row.
And I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. Now, they do have an interesting game coming up down the road, potentially with Central Noble, if Central Noble can get through their sectional. And there's a 3 by Ashton Johnson.
Johnson's first 3 of the game for Southside, as Lawyer gets it back across the timeline. That's Simmons from downtown, left it short, and trying to tip it in was Kopwicki, or make that Colpeen, and he gets the ball back and scores. Johnson looking to go to work, feeds it to Manning. Good close out there by Fletcher Lawyer. Speaking of Blackhawk Christian, there's a little special tribute to Mark Davidson scheduled for the next game. We'll talk about that as we go on. There's a steal there by Colpeen. He feeds it up to Goody. Goody, after a behind-the-back dribble, couldn't get it to fall.
Wow,
Simmons rips it down and goes up with the right but couldn't finish.
He just snapped that thing over the top of the defender.
Johnson trying to get by Lawyer, goes baseline, and it's knocked out of bounds by Grady Swing. Southside will take over. Grady Swing was playing on the AAU circuit this summer. He was a backup quarterback this past year to Evan Ormsby, also a backup to Luke Goody.
I believe his sister was a very good basketball player. Wasn't it Haley?
Haley Swing,
yeah. She was an outstanding basketball player for Homestead.
They get it to King at the top of the key. Little baseline drive. Tough shot is no good from Manning, but an offensive board by Johnson. His basket goes. Ashton Johnson with a much-needed bucket for Southside. They almost forced a turnover. King knocked it out of bounds.
Yeah, interesting. You see Central Noble last night took care of business against Westview. So their next big game, Busco. And then it's, to be honest with you, they should wrap up that sectional if they can get through that one. And then they could potentially down the road take on Blackhawk Christian in 2A. That should be an interesting matchup. Connor Esigian can really score along with Sawyer Yoder for Central Noble.
Saw Connor Esigian during the AAU circuit. He had some pretty good games. There's a little touch shot there by Simmons.
Simmons with 8 points.
Less than 3 minutes to go. That's Johnson. He gets fouled on the 3, and it's good. A 4-point chance for Ashton Johnson.
Fouls on Grant Simmons, his first, team's 5th here in this first quarter, and Southside into double figures.
They're going to say the foul was after the shot, so it's actually not going to be a 4-point play. It's just going to be an extra possession for Southside.
They'll take it. They need a lot of them.
That went off the foot of Lawyer. Johnson recovered it. Gets it back outside to King. Goody was swiping at the ball. Didn't quite get the steal.
It's good to see Ashton Johnson a bit more active in this game, Thad. He got injured in the Snyder game, had back spasms literally right on the side of the court, just went down. Nobody even touched him. And I'm not sure he got back to about 80% till this week.
Contested shot, and Johnson scores again.
And he's got 11 for the Archers.
He's got the last 5 for the Archers. That's a near steal. Simmons, the over-the-shoulder pass to Fletcher Lawyer. Homestead able to avoid the turnover. Colpeen going to be called for the offensive foul. That's Colpeen's second.
Yeah, so 2 players in foul trouble now.
That's the 16th foul on Homestead. Kyron Kopwicki checks into the game. You've got Kyron and Caden Kopwicki on this Homestead team. Caden's a senior, Kyron a sophomore.
They both played a lot in the fourth quarter against Huntington North. I watched that young man, Amarion Washington, last week against New Haven. Against New Haven. He hit like 6 threes in a row.
Tough rebound there by Kopwicki. Gets it up to Lawyer. Lawyer racing down the floor. The floater wouldn't fall. Ripped down by Johnson.
Looked like a little John Stockton or Nash on that play, didn't he?
I might go with I might go with either one of those. That's two of the best point guards to grace the NBA.
Yeah.
And guys who could no doubt score, but could also facilitate as well. You can also throw Jason Kidd into that list as Simmons' three wouldn't fall. Loose ball along the baseline. Kopwicki dribbled it out of bounds, so it's going back to Southside. You know, this 28-point lead is certainly a comfortable one for Homestead, but it's been a while since they've scored the basketball.
Yeah, they've been a little sloppy in a couple possessions here, but, man, they started off red hot.
Of course, Columbia City is part of the Northeast 8 Conference. That's the school we're at here tonight. That's a conference that also features Leo and New Haven and Norwell. Norwell won the conference last year. Leo and New Haven both had good teams. They've got good teams again this year, and Leo, if I'm not mistaken, won the conference this year.
Yeah, they do. They did not lose in conference play. Their losses, I believe, were all to two Summit Athletic Conference teams. And a loss to Woodland at the end of the season on the last night. So
one of their losses was to Blackhawk Christian.
That's right. That one was late, too. So, yep.
Down to 35 seconds, and that's Jordan who feeds it outside to Jaden Morris. Loose ball. Goody poked it away, and Simmons comes up with it. Lawyer now pulls up for three. Wouldn't knock it down. Offensive rebound by Kopwicki initially, but Southside comes up with it. Diving to the floor there was Jordan. Omarion Washington couldn't finish. Goody grabs it. Goody gets it across the timeline, feeds it over to Lawyer. He'll use the baseline. A little hook shot wouldn't go. And at the buzzer it goes. Kyron Kopwicki. There's one way to end a scoring drought, as Kyron Kopwicki gets on the board for the first time in this game. And we are at halftime with Homestead leading by a score of 43-13. We'll be right back after this quick word. We'll keep it here for this quick word from Parkview Sports Medicine. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it is game on. We serve every level of athlete with our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. A 30-point lead for the Spartans over the Archers. We'll be back after this 2-minute break. You're watching high school sectional basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Calling me from Garrett. Welcome back, everybody. We are at halftime, 43-13. Homestead with a huge lead over Southside, and Ryan, I believe you've got some stats for us.
Yeah, well, I've got the unofficial scoring here in the first half. Why don't we start with Southside, because it'll only take me 2 players. For the Archers, Keith King with Jerry Thomas with 2 points, and leading them in scoring here in the first half, the junior Ashton Johnson with 11 points. For the Homestead Spartans, well, they've got a balanced scoring attack going across the board once again tonight for head coach Chris Johnson. Fletcher Lawyer with 6, 3 from Quinn Harmon, Caden Kolopicki with 3, Caleb Colpine with 4. Leading them in scoring here in the first half, Luke Goody with 15, Andrew Leeper with 2, Kyron Kolopicki, who hit the shot right at the buzzer, he's got a bucket, and Grant Simmons with 6 points here early, or 8 points here in the first half. And in fact, Homestead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 3-pointers in the first half for the Spartans.
This is no doubt a team that can really knock it down from beyond the arc, as you just alluded to. But not only was it the great shooting, which really was what helped to get Homestead started in this game, they played great defense. A lot of half-court traps, and those traps led to turnovers, and a lot of those turnovers were what led to points for Homestead.
Yeah, as soon as Southside went to one of the wing areas on either the left or the right side, they got trapped there, and they turned the ball over trying to reverse the ball, and they couldn't do it. Because they either picked up their dribble, which is a cardinal sin against any type of trapping defense there, and then they just got caught out of position, didn't use any ball fakes, and Fletcher Lawyer, Grant Simmons, and Luke Goody were all over playing the passing lanes there in the first quarter, and it led to easy buckets early. They got They got out to an 18-2 lead in that first quarter, so tough for Southside even to come back from that, and South's got to find something other than Ashton Johnson.
Well, we'll get a quick word in from our sponsors at Parkview Sports Medicine before we go any further. We got a special little update regarding the Wayne versus New Haven game coming up, but before that, let's get a word in from our sponsors at Parkview Sports Medicine, Parkview Sports Medicine is the area's largest integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. Well, earlier this morning, Wayne head coach Byron Pickens reached out to me as well as others and informed me that both he and head coach Bruce Stevens at New Haven for their game coming up are going to wear gym shoes with their suits for Coaches versus Cancer, and particularly in support of head coach Mark Davidson, the head coach at Blackhawk Christian. Certainly wish Coach Davidson the best. I believe he was coaching on Tuesday night. I'm not sure if that's the case again tonight, but sure we'll find out later as the game goes on. But certainly great to see these efforts of Coaches versus Cancer going on at any level of basketball, including the high school level.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Coach Davidson can reach out to Coach Rod Parker. He battled cancer as well last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
It's so far. That seemed so far away last year with having all the stuff that went on with COVID late in the season for both girls and boys basketball. So he can reach out. There's a guy around here that knows what he's going through, and we wish Coach Davidson nothing but the best of luck against cancer. And you know what? His team will certainly support him all the way. It's a good tribute tonight between Coach Bruce Stevens and Byron Pickens. They're both class acts in the Northeast Indiana area.
Yeah, Rod Parker, of course, helped lead Homestead to that conference title a year ago. Kara Ankenbrook stepped in as the head coach while he was unable to coach. It was no doubt a great effort, and even greater to see that Rod Parker has made it through this bout with cancer. We certainly hope it's the last. As someone who has lost a relative to cancer, as she, as I recall, had multiple bouts with cancer, it is there's never any guarantees with this particular disease.
So awful, you know. 1 minute you're good, the next minute you're not. A friend of mine's wife died from cancer. She went from feeling good to gone in weeks. So we certainly wish nothing but the best of luck for Coach Davison out there at Blackhawk and anybody that's listening right now for a speedy recovery against that horrible disease.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break and come back in just a matter of moments. You're watching high school sectional basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location with people that know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in.
Welcome back. We are at halftime, 43-13. Homestead with the lead as we get ready to start the second quarter. Winner goes on to face either New Haven or Wayne in the sectional championship game. And at Parkview Sports Medicine, it's game on. We are the region's largest integrated sports medicine team, providing athletes specialized services from improving their performance to recovering from injuries. To learn more, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. Again, winner of this game goes on to play either New Haven or Wayne, and if this score holds up and if New Haven were to win, Wayne, of course, might have something to say about that, but if New Haven were to win and this score were to hold up, it would be a rematch of last year's sectional championship, which New Haven won, by the way, against Homestead.
Yeah, a very close game up there at Huntington North, and that was one of the best games I had seen the whole season. Now, New Haven does not have the guards that they had last year on that team. They could shoot from the outside. Lewis could really run the outside and score a lot. They had a really good point guard. They're different this year. They're just a different team. You'll see him. Jakar Williams will be their point guard tonight for New Haven. He's not really even a guard. He's probably a 3 at the next level. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, Wayne, on the other hand, Wayne's got some momentum. They were down 13 just before the fourth quarter against Columbia City the other night here on Tuesday night, when they just decided enough was enough and they just started playing great defense and they turned them over. I think Columbia City tried to slow it down too much and got out of their rhythm, and before they knew it, they were down 6 and Wayne moved on.
Well, Homestead will start out with the basketball. Fletcher Lawyer waited a little bit for somebody to come open, but Caleb Colpine eventually did.
And Southside took no warm-ups. I'm not sure if they were getting a good old-fashioned tongue lashing back there, or if there was a player trying to get in the rest of the team's head and have them get playing here in the second half.
The feed inside for Simmons. That was a tough catch. He slips it to Goody. Counted, and a foul. Luke Goody adds to what's already been an impressive night for him.
Yep, 17 already, looking for 18. That foul was on Keith King.
And Goody splashes home the free throw.
Homestead perfect from the line here this evening.
Well, Goody had the first basket of the first half for Homestead. Now he gets the first 2 baskets of the second half for Homestead. 2 baskets, 1 possession, make it a 3-point play. And here's Austin Jordan, picked up by Colpine. I tell you, there was a few pieces that Homestead lost from last year's team. One in particular that probably stands out was Zach Kruger, an outstanding point guard, as the 3 is good by Keith King. Kruger was an outstanding point guard. He's now at Albion College in Michigan. He's one of the double-digit scorers for the Spartans the last couple of years. That pass is tipped and taken away as Jordan comes back down the floor.
Yeah, I think Luke Goody thought Lawyer was going to cut to the basket, and said he fanned out, and that led to the turnover.
Manning drives baseline, kicks it back outside to King. How much pressure is there on you when your last name is Manning and when you play high school sports in Indiana, regardless of what the sport is? As King fires away, and Goody's going to let it go.
Yeah, Lontrell Manning, he was on the varsity too last year and the year before that, so he has some experience on varsity. His brother played baseball for a bit at Southside, so there is a little bit of pressure with the name Manning in Indiana for sure.
Of course, Homestead has a kid named Peyton on their football team who's a quarterback.
That is
and
correct.
Last year he wore the number 18, Peyton Slavin, that is. Not that there's any pressure with that. Goody feeds it to Simmons. He's trying to get it inside, but Simmons catches it near the perimeter. Pass knocked out of bounds by Keith King.
Chris Johnson, the head coach at Homestead, telling Andrew Leeper, go bounce pass.
A 30-point lead for the Spartans, and they get it in to Simmons. Lawyer gets the screen from Leeper. A catch and shoot by Grant Simmons, too strong, and King chases it down. Johnson gets inside the paint, gets by everybody but couldn't finish. That's Lawyer on the drive to the basket. Tough shot, no good. Goody tried to keep it alive, but here comes Jordan the other way. Jordan, the little Euro step, and he was fouled.
Homestead foul, number 22.
Call the foul on Andrew Leeper. That's his third personal foul. So Austin Jordan goes to the charity stripe. He hits his first one. And that second one is good.
Southside 3 for 4 from the line. They have had better spacing here in the second half on the offensive end. They haven't had much to show for, but I think that's what Coach Foster was looking for in the first half, and Homestead just completely took them out of their game early.
Lawyer going to use the baseline. Tough shot, no good. He had two defenders on him, and Cadell Wallace comes down with the board.
He wanted to foul, and I think the official was like, young man, you're up 28 points.
Little shot fake there by Johnson. Kicks it back outside to Wallace. Wallace has it blocked. That's Leeper who knocks it away. Little no-look pass to Lawyer.
Oh,
and he zips it inside to Colpine for the bucket.
Give that assist once again to that young man, Fletcher Lawyer. He's got 5 in the game already.
So leading scorer on the season for Homestead, Lawyer is tonight in a bit of a, I don't know if he's in a sharing mood, but he's done plenty of sharing.
He certainly has. He's only got 6 points, but 5 assists to go with it.
Johnson picked up by Leeper, leaning in, tries to go underneath and couldn't finish. Goody zips it to Lawyer, and Lawyer is fouled. Goody put some heat on that one, kind of like in his days as a quarterback for Chad Zolman's Spartans.
Yeah, I think that foul was on I think Cadell Wallace of Southside.
That is the second team foul against Southside tonight. And Lawyer's able to hit the first one.
Be interesting to see how long head coach Chris Johnson leaves the starters in, potentially in the fourth quarter.
Beg your pardon there. The score is 50-18 in Homestead's favor. Goody comes out to guard Manning. Manning, the behind-the-back dribble, wanted the step back and kicks it out to Jordan. Drive to the basket by Johnson, and he puts it home. We mentioned in the open how Southside is not short on talent as Homestead turns it over there. They were not short on talent last year either. Travion Jones and Cameron Mitchell were both double-digit scorers. Those guys have since graduated. Well, fake there by Johnson. He gets it back outside to Austin Jordan. Jordan trying to get inside. He got the screen from Manning. He'll back it out. Johnson off the catch and shoot. Knocks down a 3 ball.
He's got 16 now in the game, Thad. He's a lone bright spot here in this game for the Archers.
He's got about 2/3 of Southside's points as Lawyer uses the baseline. Gets it out of trouble to Simmons. He'll back it out. Goody with a good look from the corner, but it's too strong. Lawyer chases it down. Rifles one in. That's Colpeen on the catch. His shot no good. Putback is good, and that's Andrew Leeper who finishes it off.
The size too much in there for Southside right now.
Cadell Wallace gets the pass and feeds that one over to Jordan. Johnson, like he was thinking about the three, now chooses not to shoot it. Instead, he'll drive to the basket. Such a good athlete when it comes to the dribble penetration, but his shot wouldn't fall. Lawyer is fouled on the interior. He's trying to get to the basket, but he's fouled on the way there. It was not in the act of shooting, so it'll be Homestead basketball on the baseline.
Foul was on Manning, and I think the Archers brought back in Amarion Washington.
2.5 to go here in this third quarter. 3 ball by Simmons, no good, and that's Washington who grabs the board. Omarion Washington, the rebound for Southside. He feeds that one over to Manning. Well, behind the back dribble there by Jordan, feeds it to Johnson. Simmons comes out to guard Johnson. Johnson using the baseline. Tough pass to the corner. A catch and shoot by King, and that's too strong. Leeper jumps over and grabs the board. How about the athletic ability by Andrew Leeper? And here's Goody getting into the paint. Drew some contact, gets the shot.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. If Andrew Leeper was on a team where he was featured, he'd probably be a 20-point scorer, but, he hasn't had to do it here with having Lawyer, Simmons, and, Colpeen and Goody all on the floor with him. They got a share of the wealth.
Cadell Wallace gets around the screen from Manning. Been a starter for most of the season, Wallace has, but did not get the start tonight. Manning couldn't get the bounce, and he's going to the free throw line. Minute 19 to go in this third quarter. The game that follows this one is New Haven versus Wayne.
You get to watch Thomas Latham play.
He's the leading scorer for the New Haven Bulldogs, and he also gets to watch Darion Brooks play. He's a big 6'4", kind of a guard-forward hybrid type of player.
Yeah, he really took over against Southside in that final game for these two teams last Friday. He had a bunch of dunks. I've seen him a couple times this year. Not many dunks, but boy, he was going to the rack hard in that game.
Had a block shot against DeKalb to seal a victory earlier this year, back when DeKalb visited New Haven High School.
He usually comes and talks to me before games, and I'm making fun of him that he needs to get in the weight room.
They get it across the timeline to Lawyer, and he got fouled.
Or come over to my house and eat some cheeseburgers with my kids because they're all big and he needs to put on some weight. Got to watch his brother play the other night, though, for Kentucky.
They get it into Goody. He feeds it back outside. That's Lawyer from downtown. He hits a three. It's only a matter of time before Fletcher Lawyer, the 40% free throw shooter, 46%, I believe, is the exact percentage. But he gets in on the three-point party. Not as many of them have been falling, though, here in the second half for Homestead, but they were lighting it up from beyond the arc early in this game. Manning with the feed out, and the three ball no good by Morris. Goody zips it down the floor for Simmons. Simmons up and under, no good. Tipped up by Lawyer, that wouldn't fall. Back down the floor, Jaden Morris, a little bit too strong. And Goody's able to snatch that one away. The 6'7" guard forward hybrid type of athlete, I should say.
Looks like they're going to play for the final shot here, Thad.
We're down to 9 seconds. This is Lawyer with the ball in his hands. He feeds that one over to Leeper. Goody lofts it inside to Lawyer. His shot is good. Fletcher Lawyer just before the timer. And it is Homestead 59-24 as we get ready for the fourth quarter here on SummitCitySports.com. Back for the start of the fourth quarter. Homestead leading Southside 59-24. We got one more quarter of basketball. The Spartans trying to punch their ticket to a sectional championship game, which would take place tomorrow night.
And they have not had good luck in the sectional championships the last couple years. They got beat on a buzzer beater, or they got beat by, I believe, Huntington North one year. That would have been, 3 years ago? Because last year they lost to New Haven.
I think it was 2 years ago they got beat by Huntington North. There's a little putback effort by Washington, but it wouldn't fall. Nice job to keep it alive. I thought that went off Goody's foot, and the officials saying just that. Goody trying to plead his case.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to win this one.
I don't know, unless this official out here saw it. I think that's Mr. Dice out there, and I don't think he saw it. I think they're going to stick with their call. It did look like it went off the South player, though.
It's Louis Southside
still
basketball.
laughing.
It's a shame Lawyer wasn't the one arguing that one. We could make a few
yes.
puns there with something like that. Drive to the basket, Washington, and that's a foul called. It's either going to be on Goody or Kapwicki. They call it on Kapwicki. Not as many fouls on Homestead this second half. They've only committed 3. I think they got up to 6 in the first half. They got that one into Johnson. Johnson going to fire right over the defender. No good. And it comes out to Fletcher Lawyer. Get it back outside to Goody. He'll fire a 3. Knocks it down.
Goody now with 23.
If I remember right, I think that's his 4th 3 of the game.
You are correct.
Manning feeds that one off to King.
I think he's 4 of 6 from behind the arc.
Manning gets it back outside to Johnson. The floater by Johnson. Got it. And now Lawyer races down the floor. He gets slowed down by Manning. Well, you usually get 20 minutes to warm up no matter what the circumstances are. That would be what Wayne and New Haven would have for the next game coming up. But they could get more than that if it were allowed the way this game's going. It looks like this could be done fairly quickly.
So they will actually get. There's a foul by Manning on Lawyer, but with the way that the COVID rules this year are with us, Indiana high school basketball, they don't get any extra time to go to the location and have a shoot around like a day before, 2 days before. So what they're doing here in this sectional is they automatically get 20 minutes of shoot around before they even start the clock to start the game. So a team potentially could get 40 minutes of warm-up time. We had that on Tuesday night. Our cameraman over here, he was with me, and they did that. But luckily, I think they may have actually shortened up the clock because we started just a tad early. So interesting how they're doing it here in the second season.
Well, Fletcher Lawyer goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe there. It's now a 38-point lead for the Spartans.
Oh,
the Lawyer jumped in front. Manning went behind. And Washington from the corner nails a three. Call it a fortunate bounce, but Washington is able to get a three ball out of it. Lawyer looking for the blow-by against multiple defenders, and he scores. He beat 3 guys in Southside Green. Work that one outside to Washington. Washington gets inside. His shot no good. Put back is good. Goody around the screen from Harmon. Kopwicki down the baseline, brings it back to the top of the key, then finds Goody. Lawyer, the drive to the basket. That was plenty of contact. They did not call the foul, though. Johnson feeds it back outside to King. King with a hand in his face, and it's no good. Leaper grabs the board. King was close to getting a make there, but just couldn't knock it down. And now we're going to get a timeout, and Chris Johnson's going to get some subs into the game. It's going to include Grady Swing, as well as Kyron Kopwicki, and I believe I saw Ifeani Izakudo come in as well.
Yeah, his brother was outstanding here at Homestead a few years back.
I believe that was Oni Izakudo.
Yeah, he was really good. He played hard.
Here is Izakudo, slows it down. So back outside to Kopwicki. Kopwicki, the step back right on the three-point line, and that wouldn't fall. Keith King comes down with the board for Southside. A little baseline drive by Johnson, and that one wouldn't fall. Izakudo spins inside, no good.
He got hammered.
Kopwicki lost it on the way down, and Manning comes back the other way with it. Harmon picks him up, and the late feed is good. That's Ashton Johnson who puts it home.
Ashton Johnson with 20 of Southside's 33. 33 points. An inadvertent whistle there.
Yeah, I heard that sound like a timer going off.
Yeah.
They didn't stop the clock, though, until that foul, that is.
More subs coming.
Looks like Cadell Wallace is going to come back in for Southside, along with Jerry Thomas. And for Homestead, Luke Markham will check into the game along with Max Schultz. Got to see some of Max Schultz's games on the AAU circuit this past summer.
Yeah.
That looked like a push-off there from Markham. Kopwicki has it blocked. It goes out of bounds. That's going to stay with Homestead.
Just 3:30 to play here in this first game. It's been a quick one.
A catch and shoot by Izakudo, and he drains it. Ifeani Izakudo. Beg your pardon, I believe that's Ifeani Izakudo, as Wallace's three would not fall. And Izakudo feeds it across the court to Schultz. Izakudo on the drive, kicks it back outside. A catch and shoot three, and it's good. Kyron Kopwicki. And Homestead will break 70 in this game, and there's a team that Chris Johnson talked about when I reached out to him earlier this week, how their goal is to hold teams in the low 50s as Manning knocks down a three. It looks like Southside might not even reach the 50s, but I think that might be either a foul or a 5-second violation. Now it's going to be a foul. Izakudo gets called for the foul.
11 threes in this game for Homestead now.
Johnson guarded by Swing. There's a catch and shoot three, and that's no good. The rebound is pulled down by Markham. Schultz slows it down as we're down to 2:19 to go. Kopwicki with a catch and shoot, no good. Izakudo the rebound, Nice effort there by Wallace, but he knocks it out of bounds. They look to put it in play, and they get it to Markham. That one went off the hands of Swing. He's able to recover. Nice catch by Izakudo. Markham spins around. Finds Grady Swing from the corner. His three won't go. And that's stolen away by Manning. Dribbled off the leg of Izakudo. Drive to the basket. Johnson got it. Little up and under shot by Ashton Johnson. The timeout has been taken. 32nd timeout.
I think it was just for subs.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yep. And they're going to bring Ashton Johnson out of the game. He'll finish with 22 tonight for the Archers.
It'll be a short bus ride back for Homestead. They're not far from here in Columbia City.
No,
maybe about 15, 20 minutes. Oh, 12 minutes.
One of the parents said it took him 12 minutes to get here. Now, that kind of depends on where you live on that southwest side, but.
Of course, Homestead part of Southwest Allen County Schools. Southside a part of Fort Wayne Community Schools. Both in Fort Wayne, and it wasn't that long ago when Homestead officially joined the SAC.
Not part of the baseball SAC, though, them and Carroll.
Right, they're both independent in that sport. Football is part of the SAC, so are both the girls and boys basketball teams. And that catch and shoot three by Manning is good.
Actually, that's Washington.
You're right, it was Washington.
11 now.
Izakudo across the timeline, leans in, and a foul. They call the foul on number 21, Jerry Thomas, the junior power forward. Southside got the bye in the first round of this sectional tournament. Homestead, of course, knocked off Huntington North 62-37. As Izakudo's free throw misses off the iron.
Yeah, that game with Huntington North on Tuesday, that went from a close game to a blowout. Actually, not as fast as this game, but it was a quick one at like the 3-minute mark at quarter number one. Fletcher Lawyer just caught fire and nobody could stop him.
We're going to get New Haven versus Wayne coming up next. A little shot fake here by Jaden Morris, and they turn it over.
Less than a minute to play.
Spinning in is Schultz, hanging in the air, and he scores. What a tough shot that was by Max Schultz. We're down to 40 seconds to play.
Just two players haven't scored in this game for Homestead, Markham and Swing.
Little backdoor cut along the baseline by Rook. Wallace feeds it back outside. That's an off-balance three by Washington, and he nails it.
When he gets hot, he's hard to stop.
Schultz across the timeline. We're down to 15 seconds to go. Schultz with a long three. It's short. And Rook gets fouled with 10 seconds to go. Make that 9.5.
Chris Johnson telling his young men no fouls here. 9.5 seconds to play in this game.
This is Wallace bringing it across the timeline for Southside. Down to 2 seconds. Wallace had it knocked away, and that is how this game's going to end. 74-44. Homestead your winner, and they are moving on to the sectional championship game, which will be played tomorrow night here at Columbia City. And they'll either play Wayne or New Haven, and that certainly could be a fun game. We could have a fun game coming up between Wayne and New Haven, but we'll come back at the end of this break and give you our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game in just a moment.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Homestead wins at 74-44 over Southside, and for our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game, we're going to award it to none other than Luke Goody.
Luke Goody with 23 points tonight. He had 4 3-pointers. Not much from the free throw line tonight. He didn't have to do it, but I believe he had probably 3 or 4 steals as well. And really, he took over early and never looked back for Homestead. And one bright spot for the Southside Archers tonight, Ashton Johnson will finish the year with a 22-point game for the junior.
Great career that he's had, and of course, as you mentioned, he's a junior. He'll be back next year. But this Homestead team, they really set the tone early on, got out ahead, mostly with their three-point shooting, played well in transition, and but a point of emphasis for this Homestead team has been the defensive effort. Coach Johnson told me coming into this game their goal is to hold teams in the low 50s. They've been doing pretty well at that. Didn't even let Southside into the 50s tonight.
The defense early, that three-quarter court trapping defense they ran early, Southside had early turnovers against that in quarter number 1, and by the time they had figured it out, it was just too late for the Archers. And Coach Chris Johnson's team will play again tomorrow night. We believe at 6:30, correct?
Last I remember, it was 6:30. I'll have to double check on that, but I believe it is 6:30. But coming up next, about 5:45, 6 o'clock is when 6 o'clock is when the game will get started between Wayne and New Haven. We'll go on the air a little bit before that. But Wayne and New Haven is coming up next. For now, for Ryan Dellinger and Tyler Sorg, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Columbia City. You've been watching high school playoff basketball here on SummitCitySports.com.
I choose to do whole body cryotherapy after practices, games, and training. It reduces inflammation in my muscles and allows me to move more agile throughout my profession. I became a believer in iCryo after my severe injury in college at Notre Dame, tore my ACL, and I was looking for ways to recover, ways to get back on the field. So I'm thankful for iCryo.
It's going to be real competitive. They were in their regular season matchup. If it's going to be